Hey everybody, John here from Bristol Motor Speedway, where we're going to be running a short 75 lap event here in the Class B series. And these guys are gonna yap.
Yeah, I think I just
First
read
race
that
in a
on the
long
ticket.
time. Just again, a lot of stuff with work and stuff this summer. So really just gonna try to knock the rust off. And this is probably a really bad track to try and do that. I felt like I was doing pretty well. Obviously, the last race I was in about a month ago, I was trying to run for a win at Indy, and then came back in and had a hard time. You see, I qualified in 8th. Not a great job for me, and this is not a very high split. I think this might actually be the lowest split, but I just could not figure Bristol out. The night surface out, it was very, very different from the day race. The line was different. And obviously traditionally here the line's up at the top, so that's where we're going to try and race tonight and hopefully just not crash, not destroy anybody. It can get pretty racy here, so here we go.
Alright, man. Pace cars in. Ring, ring,
And
ring.
this guy didn't do a great start there. He didn't want to go. But we're off.
Inside. Still there. Hold your line.
And that guy, I feel like
Still there. Hold your line.
I feel like I should be able
Clear
to.
low. Clear low.
I don't feel like he should be able to pass me like that. And I get a huge run on him, but nothing I can do.
Inside.
Keep it out of the wall.
Stay high. All clear. All clear.
It's extremely tight. The car's extremely tight, whereas in the spring, on the warmer track, obviously was looser. It's tough to drive the top. You can't get back into the throttle like you could before. And I'm trying to run the same line that I ran in the spring race. It's just not
Inside.
working.
Still there. Hold your line. Clear low. Clear low. Inside.
Falling back, I think, out of the top 10.
Stay high.
Backwards fast.
Still there. You're up
Whoa.
top, 3 wide. Inside. You're 2 wide there. Stay high.
I'm not a fan of that. Oh well.
Stay high.
Another guy down low. I gotta move lower.
All clear. All clear.
Obviously, that's where the groove is. All these guys are running on the bottom. There's a guy running the bottom up there. Alright, we'll try and move my exit down the track and see if that works out. Anyway, I'm going to drive here for a little bit, so future me is going to take over. Alright, future John, or present John, back here to take you through the rest of this race. As you can see, I was having a really hard time finding the right line. I still haven't found it yet, although I'm getting closer. The closer you can get to the bottom of the track, oddly enough, that was where you wanted to be, especially on fresh tires. Did not want to run way up next to the wall like in the spring race, so it's a very, very different track. I thought this might be a little easier to come back on. I didn't get a lot of practice time this week, but I already ran that longer 125 lap race in the spring. And honestly, usually tracks are easier to run at night because there's more grip. In this case, there was more rear grip and a lot less grip in the front. So the car did not want to turn as much as it did during the day. Oh well, hopefully we'll figure it out. Maybe be able to run some of these guys down and salvage a good finish. It's a quick race. I mean, you can see we're already, what, 12 laps into this thing? And it's barely started, so, or it's only 75 laps long, so we're going to have to get some major luck to recover anything resembling a decent finish out of here. We started in 8th. Hopefully we can finish higher than that. It's not looking great right now. But interestingly, the groove was on the bottom. Maybe they put, maybe they treated the virtual track like they did the real track. I thought Bristol gave us some really good racing this weekend. especially the Xfinity race. That was a fun one to watch. They could. Yeah, I don't think it was what Bristol was hoping for when they treated the track and polished the inside groove and really hoped. I think they were really hoping the inside line was going to be it. I mean, it's kind of an acknowledgement that they did ruin this track in, what, 2007 or 2008 when they reconfigured it. And now they're just scrambling, trying to make the racing there resemble what it was almost 10 years ago now, 8-9 years ago. And kudos to them for doing it. I mean, it looked like they put a ton of work into it. And it was better race. There goes somebody down to the inside wall. That's going to be the first caution of the day.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution
But it
is
did
out.
produce
Line up, single file.
much better
Road
racing than
closed.
we've seen in the past. Two grooves. It wasn't down to one groove on the bottom like I know a lot of fans want. But who knows? Maybe that'll come. Maybe this will be a good test session, and they'll be able to get it better for next time. And at least they're working on it. At least they're trying to improve the product on the track. They know they ruined it. They know they screwed up, and they're trying to make it right. It didn't produce the racing that I think everybody was really hoping for, but it did produce some pretty good racing this weekend. You see here, pit road it's confusing. For some reason, I thought you had to enter off of turn 2 and go all the way around. So I'm half expecting a penalty here, but everybody else is the same thing. So if you're with the whole crowd, you can't be wrong. If you miss your pit stall at 35 miles an hour, that's a sign that you're not very good at this. So if you see that from anybody, just know they're not a very good driver. Unbelievable. Just a terrible, terrible start to this race for me. Went back about 5-6 spots, missed my pit stall. Fortunately, I can't go back much further. So let's see what happened. I'm not having as bad a day as this guy, at least. The 16 there, you see him clip the apron. I'm not sure if that upset his car there. He just lost it out of the corner. But like I said, that looked like a spring race wreck to me. It seemed almost impossible to spin out on this track in the night. So it may have just upset him a lot getting down on the apron. I'm not sure. Maybe he had just too much wheel into it off the corner. I don't really know. Either way, I was surprised when I went back to the replay and saw he didn't get hit. He just lost it. So
Get ready.
who knows? Here I am on the inside, so we'll give this lane a try and see how this works for us.
All right, man.
Just not used to being this far back in the pack, and I don't like it, and this 4 got a garbage start. Keep getting caught behind guys who don't want to go on the restart. We should both be up in front of the 8.
Still there? Hold your line. You're clear high. Clear high.
With fresh tires, this car would turn left really well on the bottom. Wasn't able to get the 8 there, so still trying to find my feet in this on this night surface. So I'm still kind of, you see me moving around, still kind of searching for that line. Where's the best place to enter? Where should I move throughout the corner, or where should I exit? And there's a wreck in front of me. And almost get run over from behind.
Caution is out. Line up single file.
And then this guy just right back up the track.
12 car. Past the 12 car.
So there's 2 accidents. Haven't been in either one. So not a horrible start, but still not a very good one. So here's what happened in this one. The 3 gets under the 6. And I just, again, guys losing off the corner, gets T-boned by the 10. I don't know what the 10 does here. He just didn't seem to hit the brakes at all. I don't know if he's just frustrated that he wrecked and was intent on smashing other cars and into the wall or whatever, but really kind of a dick move. So there you have it from the 7. I think he went through and really got a short end of the stick there. Looked like he was gonna clear the accident, just didn't quite do it. So back to green again. Maybe we can string a few green flag laps together. And this race will be over. I mean, the 15-second, 16-second laps in these cars. And again, the 4 just hanging back, really not wanting to get a good start.
Green flag, green flag. All right, looks like you're in the top 10.
Well, I've made my way back to the top 10, so that's good for people wrecking in front of me. Caught on the outside. which, I mean, again, in the spring, if you were on the outside, you're going to go forward. You would get caught on the inside, but here it really seems like that inside line is where you want to be. I think right in here I start to settle on, I want that midline through the corner. I don't want to be real high. I'm not entering as high as I was. Hit that midline and just kind of bring it down and not do that. Not overdrive the crap out of the exit of that turn. I'm just driving the car too hard. At this point I'm frustrated and I'm running a line I haven't practiced, which is really smart to do. And a race is always the best place to figure that one out. Like I said, I didn't get a lot of practice time this week, so that's what happens. It's also just knocking that rust off. You know, it's been a while since I've driven with other cars, and you know, not practicing shows. But either way, I thought that the racing at Bristol this week and the Xfinity race was phenomenal. I really thought that was one of the best races we've seen out of that series really all year, which was great considering there was a lot of Cup guys in it. And Kyle Busch was in it, which normally when he's in a race in the Xfinity series, it is a foregone conclusion that he's just going to run away with it. And he wasn't able to. Kyle Larson was able to get out front and keep him behind him. Eric Jones, I think, actually was faster, had a faster car than Busch did. He ended up wrecking, though late after a bad pit stop, got shuffled back on that bad pit stop and got caught up in a wreck, which took him and Suarez out. But these things happen at Bristol, and that's why track position is so important here. You don't want to get caught up in other people's messes. Big news for Eric Jones. He's going to the second Furniture Row team. I wondered if that wouldn't happen. You knew Gibbs and Toyota wanted to keep him in the fold, but I don't see that they're going to be able to keep all their drivers. And we saw just this last week, they're not. William Byron signs with Hendrick. He's going to drive for Junior Motorsports next year, and is going in the Xfinity Series, and is going to be coming up into a Cup ride. I mean, that's the intent with that kid, who, incidentally, came from iRacing. That's where he got his start. He's not from a racing family. You know, he's not one of these guys who's been racing go-karts since he was 3 years old. He started and was noticed in iRacing, and at a young age, you know, he still started racing at a young age. Got him in an actual car, and now look where he is. So that's pretty interesting. And I wonder what that means for the future of the sport, if simulation style games, you know, maybe can allow people who don't have the resources to race opportunity to get into the sport. Who knows if that's just an anomaly or what. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm waiting for my call from McHendrick any day. I'm pretty sure that's probably coming this week, maybe next. I don't know. Probably depends a lot on the health of Dale Jr. But not if they're watching this one. But yeah, it's interesting what's happening with the Toyota drivers. I'm curious to see what Eric Jones is going to do in that car, and also I'm curious to see what's going to happen in that ride. Is that going to start being the Joe Gibbs feeder ride? And you see here, my line's starting to work for me, and I've really been able to run down the number 8 car, but he's battling the 4, and I'm not going 3 wide here. Not interested.
Clear low, clear low.
The owner of the Furniture Row team has said he only expects Jones to be in that car for 1 year. It's a 1-year deal, and he said he expects to lose him, and obviously he's going to lose him to Joe Gibbs. Gibbs can't field a 5th team, so where's he going to go? You know, what ride is he going to take? Are we talking about Kenseth retiring? Because the last time Kenseth was interviewed, he said he's got plenty of years of racing left in him. He has no interest in retiring. So, who knows? We'll see. Time will tell. It was interesting, too, William Byron coming up. Hendrick had made a statement. Here comes his 3. Back to the race at hand. This guy wrecked earlier. He's on fresher tires than everybody. He overdrives the crap out of his car. And he's going to be a bit of a pain throughout this race for us. But either way, not as big a deal. No sense in fighting him there. I know he's got fresher tires. And maybe he'll open up a door here for the 8 for me to pass the 8 and the 4 in front of him, because I think I'm faster than both of those guys. If I can get both of them, you know, it might put me up into, what, 7th, so that wouldn't be a horrible place to be. Maybe with striking distance in the top 5. The laps are ticking away here. Not too much to go at this very short, very fast short track. That guy's blinking all over the place behind me. Yeah, I thought the signings were interesting. Hendrick did say the William Byron signing, and I have no intention to give this spot up to this number 9 car. The William Byron signing has nothing to do with Dale Jr.'s health. I don't know if you believe that or not. He's missed a lot of races. I think it's entirely possible. I think, and I've said it before, I think Junior Nation needs to prepare themselves to hear Dale Jr. is retiring. Maybe not this year, but, oh man. That was just me jerking the wheel. I didn't want to hit this guy or get hit, and I didn't realize how close to the wall I was, and my no intentions of getting that spot up to the 9 really just did not work out for me. So, going backwards again. The good news is, at this point, I feel like I figured the track out, you know, with, what, 20 to go. I feel like I figured the line out and figured out where I need to move as the race goes on. You see the 9 catches the apron there. That's the second guy in front of me to do that, and that seemed to be a pretty common mistake was with these guys, was actually catching the apron, which is not a good thing to do at a track like this, where there's such a huge difference between the banking on the apron and the track. A lot of guys seem to be making that mistake. But I think Junior is going to be announcing retirement sooner rather than later. So maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I like him on the track, and I'm finally able to get by the 8.
All clear, all clear.
But we'll see. Time will tell with that as well. Now I'm rhyming. But I am curious. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with William Byron. What ride is he going to take? Is it going to be Casey Kane? Is it going to be Dale? Is it going to be the 88? You know, Jimmy Johnson. He's not young either. He's at the tail end of his career. Of course, he's in phenomenal shape, so you know that helps. We saw how long Mark Martin was able to race, and everybody was fairly well published what a fitness guy he was. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Hendrick cars, who have not been running well lately. There we go. I'm able to get back by the 9. Maybe here in the 2 and 3. Or 1 and 2, not 2 and 3. Maybe I'll be able to get the 4 too. He's going to shut the door on me. This isn't good. I don't want to get hit by that guy, so I have to back out. Thought I was going to get back by the 9. But I didn't want to get clobbered by that what appeared to be a lap car coming back up onto the track. So it kind of screwed up my move. One of the few good moves I was making during this race. The Cup race was pretty good from what I saw. I had to run an errand about 200 laps in and recorded it and came back and there was nothing. So I saw the first half and I haven't been able to see a replay yet. They haven't published one. Usually NASCAR publishes their replays on YouTube, which is really cool. But they haven't done it to Bristol yet, so I have not seen the end of it. I did see some highlights where Kyle Busch spun out because he broke apart and then got hit and then cried and blamed the guy that hit him for hitting him.
Still there.
But this just in, Kyle Busch, you were the one facing the wrong way on the track. I know he watches my channel. He's one of the 26 guys. That dude just clobbered the wall.
Then they go with the line.
And there's a yellow.
Caution is out. Line up single file.
Yellow flag, so it's decision time. You don't have a lot of time to make that decision here at Bristol. But honestly, at this point, I've had such a bad race. I'm so far back in the pack. There's no sense in me not pitting. I'm going to pit and take tires. Why not? If it puts me back to the back of the pack and, you know, that's where I finish, that's where I finish. Honestly, there's really no difference between finishing 10th and 20th. I mean, they're both bad. So we're going to go for it. We're going to try and salvage something out of what has been a less than stellar event for me. And the thing is, last time I finished third here. I finished third
This
here in the
track is
spring,
very
so I was
easy
really
to
hoping
overdrive and very
to
easy
do better than
overdrive.
this.
Can we catch up, please?
Now people are concerned that no one is catching up to the pack which is important at a track like this because it's so short. You don't want to get lapped in the pits. We're gonna duck down on the pit road, and people aren't gonna do it.
13 car.
And the 9, that's a penalty. You can't
Second
do
on
that.
back, should have pitted.
He hit the commitment box. They have a cone here
Sorry
too.
about that, guys. That was my fault.
But in reality, if you put your 4 tires, or if you put tires on that commitment
If you were
box
pitting, I
at
was
Bristol,
pitting.
you have to come to the pits. You can't duck back out.
I really thought about it. I figured
And
I'd
it
get
looks
hung
like
out.
I'm going to come back
Did it.
out and be restarting at maybe the tail end of the lead
I'm,
lap.
I'm expecting another caution.
I can't remember where I end up, but it's 10th or 11th.
No.
Come back out, but I'll have fresh tires, and the cars in front of me won't. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to let them fix some of the damage
fine
that I
with
did when I
finishing
tried to
second.
knock the wall down.
2 is fast.
And we'll go to replay and see what happened.
Head from 3 car.
So here I'm passing the 4, and it looks to me like he just did the exact same thing I did earlier. The difference is he loses it. He overcorrects coming off the wall and spins. So, again, you're very tight. Very, very tight race cars here.
Get ready.
And, of course, we can't mess with the setups at all, which is good because I don't know how to. I've not figured that one out yet. Well, here we go. We're going to restart
All right, man.
10th position.
8 cars in.
Couple laps to go. We'll see what we can do. See if we can't salvage a decent finish out of this, what has been a complete shit show of a race for me. Now, you see there, the 3 is all over the place. This dude, I don't know if he was drunk. Like,
Still there.
I don't know what his deal was. He was driving really hard. He was a little faster than us. But you see he's all over the back of that car. He's bouncing it off the wall. I mean, he's a hazard out here.
The lap down.
But my car's turning way better than everyone else's. And I'm going to be able to make up some spots here.
It's my right front tire is disintegrated. I'm not under caution or something, man.
2 laps to go.
And here comes the dive bomb.
Go for 5th and 9th.
Thank you.
Stay high.
I'm good.
I could have shut the door on him, but the way he'd been racing earlier, I had no interest in getting run over by an idiot and really ruining my entire day, so
Just got the white
let him
flag.
go. Last lap, I can get the 7 for sure. The 13 way overdrives the entrance to that corner. We're both on fresh tires. That's how he's so much faster than everybody as well. And here, he takes him high and then comes down and chops me. I know I was trying to make it 3 wide. It was the last lap, and I had a shot at a top 5 there. But we're going to bring it home in 7th, which is 1 spot ahead of where we started. Not a good race. Not a great race for me at all.
He killed it.
I feel like if I'd have done another one right after this, I probably could have done a little better because I wouldn't have spent the first 50 laps trying to figure the line out.
Time, fellas.
But
Appreciate it.
that's what happens when you don't practice. So let that be a lesson to you. Until then, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll have one next week, maybe from Michigan.
I got
But
really
until then,
Man,
keep it out of
that's
the fence.
The race is over.
Yeah, me too, man. It was like ridiculously tight.